be explaining further in the upcoming slides what synonyms are. So the three major points that you need to focus on to get higher grades or higher band scores in IELTS for reading is basically first sentences of each paragraph. You need to focus on that, as well as keywords and synonyms. So these I'll be explaining in the upcoming slides. So the question types that you'll get in IELTS reading is as follows. So you have multiple choice, you have identify information, true, false. So you have true, false, not given, and then you have to identify writer's claims, or the yes, no, not given, matching headings. And so these are the type of questions that you will be getting for IELTS reading. All right, so we go into the first major point, that is first sentences. So first sentences of any paragraph basically introduces you to the paragraph, the essential meaning, what the paragraph is going to be about. Yeah. So for example, if we take one example, let's say if you can read this, I just want you to focus on the first sentence, not the whole paragraph. I don't want you to read the whole paragraph. Just read the first sentence and then try to answer the questions, like what does this paragraph talk about. So now if, for example, if you read the first sentence, it says our muscles are amazing structures, full stop. That's the first sentence. So what does it talk about? Not humidity and heat, so it's not A. It's not environment or geometry, but it talks about muscles. So we get the point, what this paragraph talks about. So when you go to example 2, this is a bit tricky. So you can see, first of all, I need you to focus on the questions. See, in the questions they have given A, B, C, D. So there are 4 multiple choice and you have to select one out of the 4. So A, it's about inspiration for artificial muscles. B, dynamic geometry. C, spider silk. D, China and the US. So when you read the first sentence, it says variations of dynamic geometry appear elsewhere in nature, exhibiting a variety of mechanisms and structures inspiring development in artificial muscle technology. So over here, in the questions, you can see the keywords. For example, there is dynamic geometry in the question, there is dynamic geometry in the paragraph, in the text. There is inspiration for artificial muscles, and then there is in artificial muscle technology at the end of the sentence. So which one could it be? So basically you have to read the whole sentence and you need to understand the meaning of the sentence. So it says variation of dynamic geometry appear elsewhere in nature, exhibiting a variety of mechanisms and structure inspiring development in artificial muscle technology. So now you understand what that means. So it's basically A, inspiration for artificial muscles. All right, so we go to example 3. This is a bit more harder. So just read the first sentence. You can see the sentence, the first sentence ends collaboration, full stop. So we have to read until that. Spider silk is the natural biological material with high sensitivity to water, which inspires us to study the interaction between spider silk and water, said someone, a professor of material science and engineering in Beijing and part of the collaboration, full stop. So in the question, look at the keywords. A, spider silk. B, spider silk and water. C, Beijing. D, artificial spiders. So when you read the first sentence, what do you get? Spider silk is a natural biological material with high sensitivity water, which inspires to study the interaction between spider silk and water, says this professor. So you know it's not C or D. It doesn't focus on Beijing or artificial spiders. It says about spider silk, or it could be spider silk and water. So if you do not read the whole sentence and if you do not understand what the sentence means, you might think, okay, spider silk is there, spider silk is in the text as well, maybe it's spider silk. But no, if you really read through and understand what that sentence, it says spider silk blah 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 with high sensitivity to water, which inspires us to study the interaction between spider silk and water. So you know the answer for this question, spider silk and water. It's not just spider silk. Yeah. So now we'll go to match the paragraphs to the main idea. So we have 3 paragraphs over here. So we need to match the paragraph to the main idea. How do we do that? So we do this by understanding the key words. For example, the first main idea says debating the causes. Debating. So debating is the key word over here. So let's go through, when you read the paragraphs, can you see where the debate word comes? Yeah, it comes over here, the second paragraph. It says the cause of the circular patches of earth surrounded by glass, which are arranged in honeycomb-like patterns in huge areas of Namib desert, has been the source of scientific debate for decades. Yeah. So then you know, okay, there's a keyword here, the keyword is over the text and the keyword is in the question. So basically it's B. Then we go to spectacular interest. Spectacular. Where can you find the word? Third paragraph. It says regular vegetation, patterns from spectacular landscapes. Yeah. Wait a minute, can't read that. All right. Across the globe with the fairy circles, blah, blah, blah. Interest for scientists since the 1970s. Spectacular is in the question and spectacular is in the text as well. So, you know what's the answer? So, 2 is paragraph C. A mystery unraveled. Can you find the word unraveled? Yes. Mystery? No, but unraveled is there. So, one of nature's blah, 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 the fairy circles of Namib have been unraveled by researchers. So, A is, question 3 goes to A, paragraph A. Alright, so that was way too easy, but in IELTS, you don't get easy questions, you just get tricky questions. And tricky questions means you don't get the same keywords. Like you don't find the keyword in the question, the same keyword in the question as in the text. You find synonyms. So let's go over here. Say for example, let's see the question. A long-held and beautiful interest. A long-held and beautiful interest. If you can see that, now see, long-held and beautiful interest. If you read paragraph C, regular vegetation blurs landscape across the globe with fairy circles in Namibia holding special interest for scientists since 1970. So interest is there, special interest since the 1970s. So that's quite a long time they've been interested. So a long-held and beautiful interest. There you go. So now a puzzle possibly solved. So if you go puzzle, can you see something? No. But if you go in the second paragraph, you can see a puzzle. The cause of surrounded by arranged by honeycomb, a huge area of Namib has been the source of scientific debate for decades. Not that. One of nature's the fun unraveled by researchers. Okay. So solved, unraveled. Can you see solved and unraveled? These are synonyms. Synonyms means words which have the same meaning. A puzzle, one of nature's, what do you call, yeah, cannot see that word over there. Yeah, nature's, I think, puzzle. Let me go back. Yeah. Cannot see that term over here because of this. Wait a minute. Okay, greatest mysteries. Yeah, so puzzle, mystery. These are synonyms. So this is what you'll find in IELTS. So puzzle possibly solved, mystery unraveled. That's the answer. So number 3, an ongoing dispute. So when you read the third paragraph, you can see the cause of circular patches of earth surrounded by grass, which are arranged in honeycomb in huge areas of the Namib desert, the source of scientific debate for decades. Ongoing, it's decade. The synonym for ongoing is decades, and dispute is debate. So you can see they have used synonyms in the question and in the text. So since you know, okay, these two are the similar words, have the similar meaning, you know this answer straight away. So it's paragraph 3 for question number 3. Yeah. So as you know, keywords are essential nouns, verbs and adjectives. So in a sentence you find 2 types of words. You find keywords and you find grammar words. So keywords means that something that makes sense. It makes meaning. For example, if I say computer, you know what computer means. If I say TV, you know what a TV means. So grammar words are, they just stick keywords together to make sense. For example, is or for or either, neither or across. These words, they don't make much sense, right? So these are the 2 types of words you'll find in sentences. So the main focus should be on the keywords. Yeah. So how do you find keywords? finding keywords in the question, and you need to find the corresponding keywords in the paragraph, that means the text, like we did before, the examples. Yeah. So what you need to do is stop and zoom into the part of the paragraph and read it carefully. You have to read. Just because you find keywords doesn't mean that it could be the answer. No, you have to read the entire sentence to and understand what it means, so that you can link with the question that's been asked. So go back and forth, read back and forth the paragraphs until you get the answer. Yeah. So let's try to find keywords in the question. So over here, what syndrome can the technology help? So what words have meanings? As you can see, syndrome, technology, these words have meaning. Yeah. Number 2, what can the computer decipher? So computer, decipher, they have meaning. How did the participants report feeling? Report feeling, they mean something. Yeah. So these are the keywords. So when you go to the paragraph over here, what syndrome can the new technology help? So syndrome, technology. I'm trying to in this paragraph I'm going to try to scan for those words, either syndrome, technology. Okay, now I got syndrome. There is syndrome. So what does it mean? Locked in syndrome. So what syndrome can the new technology help? Locked in syndrome. Yeah. What can the computer decipher? So over there say computer interface. So there's computer interface that can decipher. That keyword is also there. The thoughts of people. Decipher the thoughts of people. So thoughts of people is your answer. So next, how did the participant report feeling? So if you see counter to expectation, the participants in the study reported, you find the keyword, being happy. So happy is the answer. All right. Okay. So let's do another question. So we'll have to identify the keywords in the question, find the corresponding keywords in the question as well as in the paragraph, and let's answer the question. Okay. What could possibly be causing dementia? So over here, if you see dementia is the keyword. So if you read the tiny air pollution particles, blah 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 blah. Can you find dementia? Okay, you found the keyword dementia. So tiny air pollution particles. What could possibly be causing dementia? Tiny air pollution particles. That's the answer. For example, if the question asks you to answer the question in using just 4 words, because in IELTS reading, what I mean by tricky is that they wouldn't ask you just answer the question. No, they will say answer using just 4 words, 3 words, or just 1 word, or maybe just one number, the word or a number. So you have to read the instruction very carefully. What are they asking for? Are they asking for you to answer for using 4 words only, or either 3 words? If it's just 4 words, then tiny air pollution particle, 4 words. If it's just 3 words, then tiny, or you can say not tiny, air pollution particles. That makes sense. So air pollution particles. So you have to read the question very carefully. We'll go through the questions for IELTS reading later on. Yeah. So, all right. Now, what percentage of dementia cases could be attributed to air pollution? So, what percentage dementia page could be attributed to air pollution? So air pollution means something, that's a keyword. What percentage? Percentage is another keyword. Dementia was already there in the first question, so we cut that off. So let's see for the percentage and air pollution. Yeah, scientists and engineers found the older women who live in places with fine particular blah 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 standard 81% more at risk for global cognitive decline, 92% more dementia. So there is no air pollution here. So let's go to paragraph C. If their findings hold up in general, air pollution could be responsible for 21%. So you have the keyword air pollution and you have a percentage, a number as well. So you know, okay, it's not 81%, it's not in the previous paragraph which says 81%, that's for cognitive decline, 92% for that develops dementia. No, that's not the answer. 21% caused by air pollution, yeah, that's the answer. So it's paragraph C. All right. Here we go. Yeah, so the next question, what needs to be in the surrounding environment to increase cognitive decline? Cognitive decline, environment, cognitive decline. So these two are the keywords that you need to find. Okay, so the first and the second, so these 2 paragraphs gone. Let's read the second paragraphs. Scientists and engineers found that older women who lives in places with fine particulate matter exceeding the US environment standard 85% move at blah, blah, cognitive decline. So we have environment, we have cognitive decline, so the answer should be here. Scientists have found that older women who lives in places with fine particulate matter. What needs to be in the surrounding environment? So the answer is just there, fine particulate matter. So that's the answer, fine particulate matter. So if the question asks you to answer in just using 3 words, fine particulate matter, only 2 words, particulate matter. You can't, they wouldn't ask you for 1 word because it wouldn't make sense. Yeah, so you should be very careful. You can't say fine particulate. Fine particulate doesn't make sense. So it should be either, if it asks for 2 words, so answer the question using 2 words. So it will be fine, particulate matter. Yeah. Okay. So synonyms, as you know, synonyms are words that has the same meaning. Yeah. For example, big, large, they mean the same. Yeah. So in IELTS, it's always about synonyms. You would not find the same word in the question and in the text. It's always a word in the question and a synonym in the paragraph. So you'll need to understand the meanings of the words, basically. So let's find the synonyms in these questions. Kids, increase, concentrate, recover, permanent, errors, recording, avoiding, research, finding, chance. So there are 10 words over here. So let's find those words in the paragraph. So as you can see, kids, very easy, children. Yeah. Increase, grow, synonym. Concentrate, attention. So one thing that you need to know in IELTS reading is the questions go in order. So like for example, the first question, the answer would be somewhere in the top of the first paragraph. Maybe second question, the answer would be somewhere in the middle or in the end of the first paragraph or in the second paragraph. So it always goes in order. So this is by experience because I've done IELTS both academic and general. So this is how the pattern is. Yeah. So you don't have to, like, if it's increased, don't just jump straight into the third paragraph. Just look into the first paragraph. The answer should be there. Yeah. So recover, bounce back. Permanent. So see, permanent, fixed. Errors, mistakes. All right. So you can see how it's going in an orderly manner. Yeah. The questions and as well as the answer. So next is recoiling, shying away, avoiding, glossing over, research finding, implications, chance, opportunities. So you can see chance is the last question, last word or last question, and it's in the last answer, in the last sentence of the last paragraph. Yeah. So just to recap, so the major points that you need to understand in IELTS reading are the first sentences of each paragraph. They basically introduce you for the paragraph. The importance of finding keywords in the question as well as in the text, and keywords almost always comes as synonyms. So you need to know the meaning of words.